Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news. During a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Luke Rockhold gives his opinion on Dana White counting him out from day one in the UFC. Here's the clip.
Why do you think I'm so mad at Dana? Because Dana never gave me a chance. From the moment I came into the UFC, he never gave me a chance. Wrote me off, never highlighted my years in Strikeforce or anything I did on the wins, and only my losses. Dana White controls the narrative of what the public perceives. And, it's like he f***ed me from the start. And it took me 16, 17 years to earn my, come back and have a fight like that to earn my respect. Nothing I did in the past, mattered until now. All right. That's why I feel the way I feel sometimes, And that's why I say the things I say. You got to understand the power that you have in that situation with the narrative you create. The public believes what they want to believe and what you tell them to believe.
Khabib gives his opinion on Edwards knocking out Kamaru Usman at UFC 278 last weekend. Khabib said, "I was surprised, even a little upset, because I have a close relationship with Kamaru. It was hard to watch the best fighter in the world get knocked unconscious with 50 seconds to go in the fight." The reporter then asked Khabib if he had the urge to stop watching the fight, as it was one-sided after the second round, to which Khabib replied, "Yes, I thought it'd end like it usually does, just like everyone else, but this is MMA, and you see what happens. You blink, miss a punch, or make a defensive mistake, and it's lights out. Then you wake up in the locker room and it's over." When asked if he had talked to Kamaru since the fight, Khabib said, "I usually talk to fighters after 3 or 4 days because everyone is getting in touch and there's a lot of emotions. When everything calms down, I'll talk to him." In a recent video, Daniel Cormier discusses the upcoming UFC Bantamweight fight between Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw at UFC 280.
When you think about Aljo and TJ Dillashaw, and you think about TJ Dillashaw and the things that he's done over the course of his career, he has been fantastic. I was there on the night that he won the championship against Renan Barão. I fought on that card in the co-main event to TJ Dillashaw against Dan Henderson. And in the build-up, many forget how Renan Barão was viewed at that time as the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, unbeatable, another one of those guys from Shoot the Box. Another one of those guys from where Jose Aldo trains with Coach Andre Pederneiras. And we just had saw him win and win and win and win. And you didn't think that this guy from Alpha Male, this young up-and-coming bantamweight, really had a chance to beat Renan Barão. But Dillashaw goes out there and he dominates him. It doesn't even look close. Dillashaw wiped him out, and then he did it again in Chicago. So watching him has really proven to be something very special. I believe that he's one of the best bantamweights of all time, second only to Dominic Cruz. I still believe Dominic is the greatest bantamweight of all time. But I do think that Dillashaw has closed in on him. Unfortunately, the suspension, the drugs, all that other stuff really does play a part. But when Aljo says, "I don't think he's a clean athlete," TJ, how could you possibly be upset about that?
Charles Oliveira is set to take on Islam Makhachev in Abu Dhabi in less than 2 months, in an attempt to try and regain his lightweight belt. While Oliveira initially wanted to wait for Conor McGregor's return to the octagon to face off against the Irishman for a massive payday, the UFC somehow convinced Oliveira to face off against Makhachev in his own backyard. Speaking in a recent interview, Charles Oliveira had this to say when asked if he would defeat Makhachev and go on to face Conor McGregor next year. "I really do. It's the sole reason I accepted this fight. I know the more victories, the better the chances, so this is a step towards the fight." What do you think about a potential McGregor versus Oliveira fight in the future? Will the Irishman be able to stand toe-to-toe with the lightweight beast that Oliveira has become? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. Darren Till recently uploaded a video to social media giving us an update on his situation and says he's in camp to fight before the end of the year. Here's the clip.
So we're a few weeks in to getting back. Hamzat's fully in camp now for his fight with Nate Diaz. So I'm in camp helping him, but I'm in camp for myself to come back. And as I said to you previously, that I'm coming back. The body's never 100%, but I'm coming back. What I used to be healthy and fit and ready to get a world title, get some wins in. Massive fight against one of the best strikers in the division. So this is all just about getting back now. So we just finished training, 2.5 hours grappling. Tonight we got some physical strength and conditioning. The body feels okay. Obviously I have to be smart, just like train, recover, make sure I'm getting the right nutrients and stuff like that. So I'll keep you updated each week, each Monday. And yeah, I'd say in a few months' time I'll be ready to be. I want to have 2 fights by the end of this year, just bam, 2 fights. And then next year's a big year. The comeback is on.
Are you guys looking forward to seeing Till back in the octagon? And who do you think is a good matchup for him? Let us know in the comment section below. Francisco Figueiredo, the younger brother of the 2-time and current UFC flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo, has been let go by the UFC. The fighter was 2 for 2 in the UFC, but after getting tapped out this past weekend in a bout against Amir Albazi, Dana White decided it was time to go and he was released. In a recent interview, Leon Edwards Muay Thai coach Henry Clemenson broke down the head kick that finished Kamaru Usman this past weekend. When asked if it was something they had worked on to prepare and implement in the fight, Henry had this to say.
To be honest, it wasn't a technique that I think was there early doors, because, without going into huge details about what we're doing, but there's a lot of strategy. We've drilled a lot of things with that. You can't just go and throw a head kick, especially early doors. It's probably going to be fresh. The reactions are high. So it was a technique that I thought was going to land later on. With some of the work that he'd have done through the fight. Perhaps might have seen him, throw caution to the wind a bit earlier on than he did. But no, it certainly was something that we were strategizing to sort of set up, if you like.
Yeah, and when you say, you go to it earlier, obviously, there's the opening, you can leave the takedowns and things like that. And is it kind of, when you see him throw it and then see Kamaru go down like that, what's going through your mind in the corner? I'm sure you're just losing it.
To be honest, yeah, I don't actually, it was so surreal, the moment, when you're like, because we're going from stressing, about him not quite, being able to perform as we would like him, or as we know he can, and then out of nowhere the technique landing. All I remember is, I don't actually remember jumping over the cage, but I remember being in there and just thinking, wow, what's happened?
Chael Sonnen discusses Gilbert Burns' desire to fight Jorge Masvidal, as well as Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. Here's the clip.
There's one guy who sets himself apart from the pack in the category of willingness, and I don't think we're giving him enough credit. That is Gilbert Burns. Hard stop. So I'm looking and trying to figure out what's going to be next. As I'm reading about Gilbert Burns, he's talking about the fact that he wants to fight with Masvidal. Now, that was also a rumor that was confirmed last night by Dana. So we're looking to do that match. But Gilbert added a little bit more insight, which is we had a date of November 12th, and Masvidal just had some kind, like a surgery, operation or something on his wrist. He kept it very quiet, but Masvidal said, I can't come back that fast. So they looked to December, they looked to January. Then Gilbert is still talking about the division, and he reveals that Sean Brady is fighting with Belal Muhammad. Now, that announcement was made in July. That went over my head. I didn't know about that. Did you guys? That's the fight. That is the fight that I want to see.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.